Wozani sizohleba. Come. Vukani guys, vukani. Umgosi wozani sihleba. So guys, I'm watching Widows Unveiled. Hey, don't mind my breathing. Nyahamba. So I'm watching Widows Unveiled, which is a show on Showmax. Mama, HAIBO guys, I'm a well, it's a decent show, but there's new Mgosi there. So let me explain the cast because it's important to understand what I'm talking about. So there is how many widows? 5 widows there. Now, one widow is Fundiswa. Mulefe, ne? Was married to a businessman. I think he was like popular in Johannesburg, Mr. Molefe. So Mr. Molefe passed away during COVID. Okay, passed away during COVID because of COVID. But the in-laws are saying ukuthi umthakathile. Angazi kumthakathi kanjani nge-COVID. So that's the first way to Fundiswa. Very important for you to understand this Nkosi. Then the next one is Mpho Shabalala. Mpho Shabalala was married to Mandoza. Galagata. Hi guys. If you don't know Mandoza, just Google Galagata. Then it's over clued up. Ne? So then the other one is Sigelela Ngubane, who is Menzi Ngubane's wife. You know, the late Menzi Ngubane. Now, you guys, the others I won't mention because they are not as important to this gossip. Ne? Now, you guys, they met the first time that the women met. They were going to a retreat organized by Lerato. Lerato being HP's widow. Okay, they go to a retreat. The others are meeting for the first time. Most of them were meeting for the first time. So Fundiswa meets Mpho Shabalala. And then Mpho is introducing herself. My name is Mpho Shabalala. Fundiswa is like, Mpho Shabalala. Okay. But Fundiswa is at that age. She's in her 60s. In your 60s, guys, they have another level of chill. You know, they have another level of chill. You know, but now let me keep calm because I want to find out everything. So she's at that age. So they introduce each other. She's like, Mpho Shabalala, I know that name. Then you guys, as they are at the retreat, you know, they're talking about themselves, they're talking about their husbands, their kids. Mpho is like to Fundiswa. Mpho, Mandoza's widow, says to Fundiswa, Fundiswa, do you have a son that plays soccer professionally? Ne? Because Fundiswa has a son that plays, I don't know which team, but apparently one of the big teams. I was like, yeah, I do have a son that plays soccer professionally. And then she's like, oh, so I do know your husband. Fundiswa keeps the 60s mindset. It's like, yeah, you know him. It's like, yeah, I do know your husband. Let me show you. She's like this on the phone. Look at this photo. Fundiswa looks at the photo. It's a photo of Mpho with her husband. Now the brain, the 60s brain is working. So she says, oh, okay, so you know my husband. He's like, yeah, I know. I knew your late husband because he used to help me with my charity. Highlights the word charity. He used to help me with my charity. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, my husband liked, you know, giving to charity, so that's not a shock. Like, yeah, he used to help me with my charity. Like, oh, okay. But now, Umama Fundiswa is connecting things. Yabona, connecting things. Later on, Umama Fundiswa makes a comment to say, I think you were one of the girlfriends, Zigababa, because one thing that Umama Fundiswa always says, before she speaks about her husband, she said, listen, understand this about my husband. He loved women. My husband loved women. So he always says that before he tells you Umgosi about her husband, because he wants you to understand. Why am I saying him? She She always says, ukuthi, umyeni ubeyithanda ikate. And then she gives you umgosi because she wants you to understand the context. Hey, don't overreact because this man was also not good. So she says to Shabalala, I think you were one of the girlfriends, but they are in a jokey conversation here. And Umpho says, no. Your husband is not my type because your husband had a big pot belly. The nerve. At that time, that thing didn't make sense. But now I'm like, the nerve of calling this woman's man, saying he has a big pot belly when you were, hashing with him. So now I get the wives are getting close, the widows are getting close. So I think that Fundiswa was not feeling safe enough with the other women to actually tell the story. And also they think she talks too much. Sometimes they cut her off when she wants to say something. That's her kind of timing and all of that. So I think she just stood in the corner and she was watching. Now you guys, later on, Menzi Ngubane's widow, Usigelela Ngubane, joins the show. I don't know why she's joining later. I think she joined like in episode 4 or something. She joins the show. They have a connection because Menzi Ngubane grew up with Umamo Ulona, Umam Fundiswa, and also Umam Fundiswa's husband is from the Eastern Cape, and Usigelela is the Mrs. Ngubane is also closer, so they have that connection. So they connect. They've even visited each other. So I feel like she felt safe now with the new widow. She felt safe to be like, okay, let me tell you this, because she's like, listen, I've met these women. I didn't know them before, but we're getting to know each other. We went to a retreat, but let me tell you what happened. Now, guys, put on your gossip hat because this is juicy. So Umama Fundiswa explained, listen, my husband liked women. And he had all sorts of side chicks, but there was one side chick. Side chick. And from searching his phone, I had found out the name of the side chick is Mpho. But not only is she Mpho, she was Mpho Shabalala. But let me tell you how I connect this. So back when the husband was still alive, she had found the messages and even sent a message to the side chick who was in Shabalala. But at the time, she wasn't connecting that it's the Shabalala who is Mandoza's ex-wife. In fact, I need to go look at the timelines because we need to know, was she seeing this man while she was married to Mandoza, or was it after Mandoza passed? Okay. Now, she says, Guti, she had even sent a message to say, to the girlfriend, because HAIBO okay. So she says that she had even found the name now, the girlfriend is Mpho Shabalala. Okay. But the part that is really gossipy, okay, the tea is, there was a time when Mama Fundiswa changed accountants because they had businesses. I think Mr. Molefe owned garages, okay. But now she's going through a fight. What the garages were taken, and then there's the in-laws, guys. Because listen, men are dogs, but the in-laws are pit bulls. Okay, if you think that your man is a dog, then his family, after he passes away, they're going to eat you like pit bulls will eat you. So, but we'll gossip about that later. Now, you guys, she changes the accountant in the business because obviously Ubaba was able to do funny transactions here in the business with the old accountant. She decides she changes the accountants, okay? She gets a new accountant. The accountant is doing the books in the company. The accountant is like, Ma'am Fundis, tell me, I'm looking at the assets of this business. Things are not making sense because there's cars that were bought here. I know your husband bought you a BM. But the same time that he was buying you a BM, he bought a Mini Cooper. Who is driving a Mini Cooper? Because I haven't seen anybody driving this Mini Cooper. Where is the Mini Cooper? Who was it for? My phone is like, Mini Cooper what? No, that's not possible. My husband bought me a BM. Like, yeah. I see the transaction. The accountant is like, I see the transaction here. BMW. I think what was BM? But he bought her a Magogo car and then bought the side chick, the youth one, Mini Cooper. Here is a BM, but here is the Mini Cooper with question mark next to it. What's happening with it? Where's this car? Fundiswa puts on the 60s hertz. You know what? For some reason, I think that this Mini Cooper is associated with this Mpo. There's this Mpo woman in my marriage. I think possibly she tells the accountant, listen, take out that Mini Cooper. I don't girlfriend and boyfriend lay, but take it out. I guess they were making installments here from the company, from the company's account. Mom Fundiswa like, take it out. It tells her man, goes, yeah, about the Mini Cooper, but dealing with that thing outside of, our pool of funds. Then you guys, guess what? Because the whole time she's telling the story, I'm like, hi guys, but it's possible. Mpo Shabalala is like the names can be, you can meet and don't ledger, that is not me. I'm like, hey, maybe. But yeah, the coincidence, which she had a photo with your husband, Kanti, And then you guys, she says, guess what? Now, Umam Fundiswa, since she's comfortable with Usigelela, Mrs. Ngubane, she's telling Mrs. Ngubane the story. So she says to Mrs. Ngubane, guess what? Guess what car Mpho Shabalala? This Mpho Shabalala is driving. Usigelela is like, what car? She is driving a Mini Cooper. She almost fainted. She's like, hell no. It's not possible. She's like, yes. She is driving a Mini Cooper. Okay, guys, anybody that sees in Mpho Shabalala somewhere, please tell me which model is her Mini Cooper, because apparently it was supposed to be a 2016 model Mini Cooper. She's like, how much of a coincidence that this woman is driving a Mini Cooper? But she says, you know what? I don't really want to fight about this. This is just information that I gathered as we are hanging out together. But I really don't want to fight because obviously the man is no longer here. And I knew Uguti Vele, this is the kind of man that he was Vele. So it's not like I want to fight, but I'm just telling you, Uguti, So Mrs. Ngubane is like, hey, yes, I know I'm new in the group, but I feel like this thing is going to hang in my mind when I'm getting to know Mpho. Because Mpho is presenting at this dignified, ethical, widow. I don't even know how ethical widows behave. So she's like, you know what, you might have to address it with her, just so that we can clear, things. Is she the Mpho? Is the Mini Cooper? Or it's just a coincidence, okay? But Umam Fundiswa insists, listen, I'm not fighting, but I know that woman was my husband's side chick. Now, okay, guys, they had asked Mpho, Mpho, are you dating? Because, guys, Mandoza passed away a long time ago, okay? So for Mpho to be saying, I'm still not dating, and all of them actually are saying that, guys, yeah, we know you respected your husbands when they were around, but now I'm a boyfriend somewhere. So they had asked her. She's like, you know what? I'm not ready for a relationship because I just lost him to Dozy. Lying. Lying. What about Mr. Molefe? Actually, you guys, she's not ready for a relationship. You know what? Because Mr. Molefe just passed away in 2020 during COVID. He passed away because of COVID. So after losing Mandoza, she lost Mr. Molefe. So she lost her husband and then lost the sugar daddy. So while the others are thinking she's mourning Mandoza, she's also mourning the sugar daddy, Mpho. That is if the story Sika Mama Fundiswa is true, but it's young solace. Now you guys, she says, you know what, I'm not ready for a relationship, but as a widow, you must have somewhere where you khubuluza. You must khubuluza from somewhere. And I'm like, this woman. So she sat there and said, you must khubuluza. But she was khubuluzing Mam Fundiswa's husband. Oh, you are khubuluzing her husband and you are sitting here saying you must have somewhere where you khubuluza. I wouldn't khubuluza with your husband because your husband had a big pot belly. The nerve. So why did you take the Mini Cooper from the big pot belly? Guys, watch Widows Unveiled. If for anything, just for episode 8. But you're not going to understand episode 8 if you don't watch from episode 1. So that now you can go to episode 8. And then there was more drama, guys, so besikhulume ngayo because Fundiswa went to the Eastern Cape and the in-laws didn't want her to get to the house, all of that. Go watch. Usafunani la, hamba nobuka Widows Unveiled. So gossip weekend because during the week is kata sick. Weekend, yimi ne Widows Unveiled this coming weekend. Guys, Mini Cooper. The nerve, usayidrava umpu. Mandoza must be turning in his grave because, what is this? He knows very well he never bought his wife a Mini Cooper, but here is the wife driving a Mini Cooper. Hey guys, have a good morning.